Hello and welcome to my Capstone Symposium presentation. The title of my poster is Make Seattle Green Again, Attempts to Restore Forest Health in Magnolia's Thorndike Park. My name is Samuel Akomea and I'm with the Program on the Environment. Anthropogenic activity is causing ecological disturbances to the resilience of our forests, and if not mitigated in 20 years, the Earth will lose 70% of its forest. But luckily, the key factor to mitigation is all-year forest restoration. The aim of my study was to understand how to develop more community engagement in forest restoration. If we look at figure one, we see a picture of my first work group that I hosted during my internship. And only six volunteers came to this work event. It wasn't a lot, but it was just a start. So my question was, what are the best approaches for engaging local communities in forest restoration efforts? During my internship, the methods I used was the GSP three-phase plan, which was like my daily responsibilities. And with the plan, phase one was like identifying problems in selected areas. So we will look at a certain area and determine which areas needed more help or needed more attention. And phase two is removing invasive species. The main species that we identified were ivies and blackberries in most areas. So if we look at the achievement section, figure 2A shows an area where a before picture that I took of an area covered with lots of ivies. And figure 2B is after removing all the invasive species, the ivy plants, we have more land area to plant new native plants, which is phase three of the phase plan. And in addition to this, also I conducted four methods of approaches to engage the local communities. These included door to door with the neighbors, uh, working with the elementary schools to get some kids out to help out, and also social media and creating work party events. If we look at the results section, there's two two of the approaches that I used did not work, and then the other two were very successful. The door to door with the neighbors and elementary schools all had similar conclusions. They all have to do with the weather that we had. My internship was done in the winter quarter, and last winter was very harsh. We had lots of rainy days and lots of windy and cold, snowy days. So it was hard for people to come out and volunteer and help out. But with the door to door, I visited 30 neighbors, and 20 of them had no interest in helping because they were either busy or doing some other stuff. Seven of the neighbors were interested, but with the weather, it was just never a good time for them to come out. Three of them were interested and willing to help, but they could only really help on the weekends, and my internship was done on the weekdays. With the elementary school, after talking to the principals and trying to get the kids out, they all came to a similar conclusion and basically said it would be awesome to get the kids out and helping, but with the weather so severe, it wouldn't be the best for the kids. So the approaches that did work were using social media. GSP has a website where volunteers can go out and just register to volunteer, but not a lot of people know about that. So it's hard for them to sign up to volunteer if they don't know anything that's going on. So I decided to create a Facebook page and share the work that we were doing and also share the volunteer opportunities that we have so more people can see it and have a chance to volunteer if they wanted to. And using this approach, I hosted another event using advertising with social media, and the participants went from 6 to 15 people. So we had over 40% growth in the last month that I was working with the internship. And with the social media, I also wanted to determine what are even better ways than just advertising volunteer opportunities. So I created work party events. Basically, in the description, I will put We will have lawn games, music, some snacks, a way to like get people interested, even if they don't want to learn about restoration. It's just a way to get them together and help engage in community activities. And nothing brings people together like a party. If we look at figure four, we see like a screenshot of the Facebook page that I created. And when I first started, it only had 10 participants in the first few weeks. But as of now, we've had over 30, 40 members all being active on our Facebook page. Uh, this work is important. These results are very important because social media is just how we live in this world, how the world works right now. And I believe GSP should create more social media accounts because it is difficult to get people to volunteer using their website when only a few people know about it. And by ensuring the community engagement using social media, we can increase the likelihood of saving our forest before the deadline is due. And with this comes benefits. These benefits are clean water and clean air. These are all essentials that we all need. And in the city filled with loss of emissions from cars and rainfalls, trees are definitely much needed. And we need trees to help absorb the carbon dioxide and emit oxygen and also filter the rainwater from uh from all the rainfalls that we get in Seattle. Uh, Instead of human activities hurting the world we live in, we can make a positive impact by turning those activities into restoration efforts. And I believe that social media is the best way to go about it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I'd like to thank my site supervisor, Walter Houston, and my faculty advisor, Tim Billow, for helping me through this capstone journey.